Welcome back to Fast RC. So in this video we're going to talk about the Arrma Quake 223S, which was just announced by Arrma, and it has a lot of similarities to the Gorgon. So in this video we're going to do a direct comparison between the Quake and the Gorgon, and we're going to talk about 10 key upgrades that the Quake has over the Gorgon. So stick around, I'll see you on the other side of the intro. Alright, so let's go ahead and get through some of the preliminary details about this truck real quick. So it looks like it's going to get released on August 21st, and the price is going to come in at $269.99, which is about on par with what I thought it would land at. But this truck is going to be really interesting, and I wanted to give you guys a heads up before I start jumping into the actual upgrades. Doing the digging on this truck, now that it's officially announced and the website's up, taking a look at the standard and optional parts, there is some underlying upgrades on this truck over the Gorgon that were not evident like at first appearance. So you're going to want to stick around this video because I'm going to try to cover everything that I found, and you might find some of that stuff to be pretty interesting. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the first upgrade. Alright, and upgrade number one is the ESC and motor combo. So this is a 223S model vehicle, so that means that it comes with the brushless combo right out of the box. The ESC is the 45 amp ESC 2-in-1 combo, so it's comboed with the receiver for the transmitter, but 45 amp ESC, and then the motor is a 4000 kV motor, and this thing packs a ton of power. I believe this comes with a 16 tooth pinion on the motor, and basically all that to say, with this motor and pinion combo, this thing is pushing easily 50 miles an hour out of the box, and some of the testing that we've seen on the bigger YouTube channels that have done the reviews looks like this thing can easily get to 55 miles an hour, and if you could somehow keep the front wheels down, you might be able to push 60. So that's a ton of speed for a two-wheel drive monster truck basher. That's like crazy fast. Anyways, it's a massive upgrade over the Gorgon Mega, and so that does it for upgrade number one. Let's go ahead and get to number two. And upgrade number two, so sticking with speed, we need something to help us keep this truck a little bit more stable now that it's packing a ton more power, and so this vehicle now comes with the DSC stability control, which will do some throttle feathering and help kind of keep your truck aligned the best that it can. When you're packing that much heat with 3S and being able to do 50 to 60 miles an hour, you're probably going to need a little bit of extra help. So it's great to see. That's pretty on par for most of the 223 models. They come with that stability control. So now this variant of the, I keep wanting to call it a Gorgon, but it's the Quake, now has stability control, which is nice to see. So that's number two. Let's go ahead and get to upgrade number three. And upgrade number three, now that this truck is able to do 50 miles an hour plus and it has a big brushless motor in it, it's nice to see that it now comes equipped with the motor fan right out of the box. So, you know, really stepping up from where the Gorgon started. The Gorgon started off with just an open cavity and no fan grill over that open cavity, so you get rocks and debris in there on top of your brushed motor. But now with the Quake, they actually not only did they have the grill, but they got the fan motor, which is nice to see. Try to keep things cool. So that's a pretty nice upgrade, and it's a really common upgrade when you get a Gorgon. So it's nice to see the Quake just has it right out of the box. Don't even have to think about it. So that's it for that upgrade. Let's go ahead and get to number four. Alright, upgrade number four, and sticking with the electronics, we're going to talk about the servo next. So the servo in this truck is kind of like a slightly upgraded variant of the servo that comes out of the Gorgon, except this servo in particular has metal gears, which is a nice reliability upgrade, but looking at the specs, it still has the same amount of torque, which is, I believe, is 85 inch-ounces of torque, and the same speed rating. So essentially it's the same servo that comes out of the Gorgon, except it has metal gears now instead of plastic. So not so much a performance upgrade, but more like a reliability upgrade, which is good to see. Hopefully it lasts a while, because on my own Gorgon the servo crapped out after a few months. So I don't know if the electronics have changed, but you know, the gearing has. So that's it for number four. Let's go ahead and get to number five. Alright, upgrade number five, and this is a big one. So I had to do some digging on this. They just released the option parts and the standard parts for the Quakes on the Arrma website, like not that long ago, and digging through it, I believe, and I can't confirm this, but from what it looks like, this might have a new servo saver on it. So if you're familiar with the Gorgon is notorious, and not even just the Gorgon, like the Gorgon, the Vortex, and the Fury, like behind me, any of those kind of that same unibody chassis, the servo savers are notorious for going out. I've busted 2 servo savers on mine. It's a very, very common part that goes out. And looking at the Horizon Hobby website and the Arrma website, it looks like the original servo saver that the Gorgon came equipped with that particular part number is now discontinued, and there's a new part number that you can find when you look for the Quake on the site and the standard parts, and it says HD servo saver. So I'm really curious about this. Is it an upgraded servo saver, or did they just change the name? It is $1 more expensive, so I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, this actually is an upgraded servo saver. And if that's the case, that is like huge. It's the single weakest part on the Gorgon, and to now see the Quake, if it has an upgraded servo saver right out of the box, that is like, thank you. There's not really much more I can say about it, and I don't want to rant too much about it, but that is like that part is a pain to change, and it's a bummer when it goes out so easy. Like, I just bumped into a fence and it died, and the servo saver crapped out. So if this is upgraded servo saver, which it looks like, it's got a new part number, that's a massive upgrade. Thank goodness. All right, let's get upgrade number 6. All right, upgrade number 6, and this is kind of another reliability mod that the Quake is adding, but it looks like it now comes with a roll bar that spans over the ESC, and that is pretty cool to see. So it's kind of like a dual function. It looks like the underneath part of the body has a piece of plastic. I'm not sure if it's tape or like some type of plastic like buffer that sits on top of that roll bar. But what that roll bar does is it adds the extra stability to the pickup truck body, especially at the point where the bed of the truck goes up into the cab of the body. That's a pretty common weak point where, you know, basher body trucks like that will tend to crack. So having a roll bar is definitely nice to see, and it's a reliability upgrade, and two, maybe it provides a little bit of protection to your ESC. So I was pretty surprised when I saw the underneath photos of the Quake to see that it actually comes equipped with a roll bar. It's nice to see. So that's it for number 6. Let's go ahead and get to the next upgrade. All right, upgrade number 7, and I was also surprised to see this upgrade, but this truck now comes equipped with a wheelie bar. But it makes a ton of sense with the amount of power this truck has with the brushless ESC and motor combo. I mean, 50 to 60 miles an hour, this thing is a wheelie machine as a 2-wheel drive, and so it's almost a must to have that wheelie bar, and so now it comes equipped with it, which is just great. Was really happy to see that it comes equipped with that. So that's it for number 7. Let's go ahead and get to number 8. All right, for this next upgrade, I've been avoiding the most obvious stuff on this truck and really talking about the underneath and the kind of the hidden upgrades, but let's go ahead and get to the big ones. So wheels and tires are totally different compared to the Gorgon, and it looks to be an actual upgrade. So from a size comparison, from what I've seen, it looks like the new tires on these Quake are actually a tad bit taller and about the same width. I initially thought that they were narrower, but looking at them side by side, it actually looks like they're about the same width. But one thing that you can't see from the outside other, than the new knob or tread pattern, these new tires on the Quake actually come with foams inside of them. So the original Gorgon tires actually had no foams inside, and my personal opinion, I actually like the tires without the foams. It kind of gives it more of like a squishy feel when you go over rough terrain. So I'm really curious to see how these new tires handle on the Quake. So far from what I've seen on the other YouTube reviews, it looks like these tires are fantastic and they do great with the foams inside of them. So I'll just have to get my hands on it to see how they really perform. But I guess you really could call that an upgrade. It looks like the tires themselves are just have a better tread pattern, more grip, and they got foams inside of them now. So that's it for the tire upgrades. Go ahead and get to the next one. All right, so this is upgrade number 9. We're going to talk about the body. So that's the next most obvious thing. So we're getting away from the SUV body of the Gorgon, and we're going over to more of a pickup truck style body. Looking at some of the comments on my own video and some of the other YouTube videos, I think the body, it kind of comes off as, it's pretty divisive. Like, some people love it, some people hate it. My personal opinion, I really like the paint schemes. I love like the cracked earth looks, and I like all the colors, the red, the green, and the bluish and pink. I think they're all fantastic. The really divisive thing is that kind of like rock bumper thing on the front, which is actually integrated into the body mount system. I don't think it looks bad. I think when I kind of look at this truck, they're going for like real like Monster Jam type vibes, and with it being named the Quake, I kind of get why they have the rock bumpers on the front. I actually kind of like it. It's grown on me over the last like 18 hours or so. So I don't hate it. I think it's actually really cool. I like the whole theming of the truck, and having that big old rock bumper on the front and the rear is kind of cool. The colors, they hit it out of the park. I love the colors. I love the branding of the Quake. I think is really cool. But one thing that I kind of started to dig into is the body mount system for this truck is really interesting and really has me excited. It's one of the things I'm most excited about this truck, is it gives you, if you own a Gorgon, or if you go buy the Quake, it gives you more options to pick different aftermarket bodies if you wanted to go that direction. And this is the way to think about it. So the Gorgon I have behind me, the body mount systems on that is specifically designed for an SUV body type. So if you would have to go and try to find like an SUV type body to try to see if you can get that body mount to work on a different aftermarket body, which in my opinion would be pretty hard to find. Although, you know, there's some crawler bodies out there that might work. Long story short, it'd be difficult. But what's nice to see with this Quake is now you're going to have a much more like compressed body mount, which might give you more options to go out and try to find like an aftermarket body from like J Concepts or Proline that would fit those stock body mounts from the Quake pickup truck body. So I know I'm kind of going off on this, but more options is good. Anytime I see like a platform like the Gorgon, or, you know, one that I harped on for a long time, like the Stampede from Traxxas or the Slash, anytime you get different variant models like this where they have different variations or different things, they bring new parts to the ecosystem. And that's what's happening with the Gorgon. It's why I'm so excited in this video. It's nice to see new variations of parts such as body mounts, which helps us to be a little bit more creative if we're looking for an aftermarket body. So I don't know for sure if any of this stuff will fit, but at least it gives me some glimmer of hope that we might be able to stick some aftermarket bodies with ease using the clipless body mount system. So I kind of went off on a tangent, but there's a lot there with that body. And I also think there's potential to do some 3D printing for this type of body. For if you're looking at that rock bumper, that's a piece that inserts, I think, with 2 screws on the front and probably 2 to 4 screws on the back. So I could see some potential there if you wanted to 3D print like a different front bumper to work with your body mounting system, that you could do that and totally change up the style of the Quake body. So there's potential there, I'm telling you. Like, I see it. You look just a little bit under the hood and you start to think about it. There's potential to do some really cool stuff with this Quake truck. So that's it for the body. Let's go ahead and get to the last upgrade. Last couple upgrades, actually. All right, and upgrade number 10, we need to talk about the new body clip systems. And so that kind of fits in. I was talking about the body mounts, but one upgrade versus the Gorgon is the clips themselves. So on the Gorgon, you would have the body clip that would slip in through the body post, and it had like this rubber lanyard that would keep it attached to the body. That's kind of the old style. Now this Quake comes with a new style where it's a clip with the red handle, and it's just in the body post mounting system all the time. There's no like rubber lanyard anymore, which is that's honestly really nice. It's the same setup that I have on the Arrma Fury behind me, where there's no rubber lanyard. It's just the body clips are in the body mount post, or not the post, but the kind of the mount itself. So that's definitely an upgrade and nice to see. And so that's it for that upgrade. And I got one more for you guys to make for number 11. So let's go ahead and get to it. All right, and upgrade number 11, this is a small one, but they are now adding stickers on the top of the transmitters to identify what transmitter that truck goes to. So it matches the body color. So if you get the green one, it has the green decal on top. And it's just a little thing. I know that probably cost them like 2 cents extra to do that. But it's the little touches like that are appreciated, especially someone like myself where like, I have 2 of these SLT2 transmitters sitting around. I got one on the board behind me, and I got one on the board in front of me. And if I put them side by side, I actually wouldn't know which one goes to which truck, which one goes to the Gorgon, which one goes to the Fury. I'd be confused, other than me marking them myself. But it's just nice to see that they come out of the box with a custom decal, just a little bit of extra flair. So that's it for the final 11th upgrade. Let's go ahead and get the final thoughts. All right, so final thoughts. I'll keep this short and sweet. I'm on board. I'm sold. I think this is going to be a fantastic truck. The Gorgon is one of my favorite trucks in my entire fleet. It's one that I drive probably the most right now. Just, my own personal opinion. I love seeing budget monster trucks like this that come out under that $300 range, where you can easily get into the hobby and get something that's really, really capable. The body, I know it's kind of hit or miss. I don't mind it because it goes along with the theming of an earthquake, but I totally get it. If some people don't like it, I totally understand. But nonetheless, identifying all the upgrades like we did in this video, it just kind of shows me that there was a little bit more to this truck under the hood. And I hope you guys got something out of this video. Let me know what you guys think about the Quake. Did I cover everything, or did I miss anything? I know I didn't put it in the upgrades because it's already on the Gorgon, the new version, but the motor pinion mesh plates, course the Quake comes with the motor pin and mesh plates. And then I didn't find anything new about the gearing, so that all looks pretty much the same. But let me know if I missed anything. What do you guys think of the Quake? But love to see what you guys have in the comments, and that's all I got, and I'll see you on the next edition of RC Weekly. Take care, guys.